Catharsis, a state of quiet contemplation, a state of emotional cleansing. According to Aristotle, for any given tragedy, a catharsis at the end of the work is necessary, allowing the viewer to reflect and think about what they have just witnessed. Unfortunately, Aristotle never actually defined the catharsis very precisely, and so many scholars interpreted the term differently. The first way of thinking about it is to see catharsis as the viewer learning something and growing, while the end of the tragedy is reached. The audience should contemplate and learn not to make the same mistakes than the characters in the tragedy, or else they will end up just like them. With this interpretation, the catharsis is very similar to themes and motifs in works of fiction, indirectly speaking to the viewer, informing them about important life lessons. Yet the second interpretation is the more interesting one for me, that being the resolving of the dramatic tension itself. That even though our protagonists did experience horrendous and terrible things, after the climax there is a glimpse of hope or beauty to behold. Whether it being characters reflecting on their actions afterwards, or an optimistic look into the future, this moment serves as a praising of human virtues and values. That the characters should and will not forget humanness and compassion, even after experiencing great tragedy. And thus we come to one of the most cruel, tragic and saddest movies that I ever experienced. Studio Ghibli's Grave of the Fireflies, directed by Isao Takahata. Where other tragedies get to shine with an epic tone or the usage of celestial beings, this piece is so special because it is grounded, has a raw feel to it. Not even to mention it being based on true events. But now to the cathartic ending of the film. After the tragic death of main character Seita's younger sister Setsuko, he decides to burn her body along with her most valuable possession, a little doll. During the actual burning, we see a long-lasting wide shot, showing the transition from day to night, the fire almost out, and fireflies, pretty much the central motif of the film, floating through the air, carelessly. After Seita gives a few narrating lines, the true catharsis reveals itself. A smooth and gliding scene transition occurs, and Seita, in his war uniform, again, suddenly sees Setsuko coming towards him, surrounded by fireflies. Her yellow top, as well as the overall lighting, treats her as one of the many and many fireflies, being innocent, being free to float around in the air. Finally, she takes her little doll, sits beside Seita, and sleeps, being, for one moment, free from suffering. The final shot of the film, panning upwards into the endless night sky, shows the two little main characters sitting in front of the modern-day city of Kobe, both of them looking into the future, for people with a better life, for a world at peace. The theme of renewal, of regeneration, is especially present in this scene. After all this suffering, the catharsis leaves these characters with positive emotions, a little uplift in the omnipresent feeling of dread. Both characters will die eventually before reaching adulthood or even youth. But what does stop you from dreaming about a better future for humanity itself? The first time I saw Grave of the Fireflies, it was a soul-crushing experience. easily one of the best war films I have seen. Yet I think that it would not be as strong as it is without the element of catharsis, being a small shift in tone and atmosphere. The beginning and ending are the two key moments the viewer will remember from a movie. So, a catharsis fits in naturally with the style of the movie. We can actually say that the Fireflies still fly.